So even before getting into the topic of this video, I want to say candidly, I am not a successful person yet by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a bazillionaire. I have not reached these incredible goals that I have for myself, but I feel like I'm on the way. I feel like I am just starting the journey, but I've been climbing up this hill. And at this stage, I feel like I am accomplished during my daytime business. I'm able to have a salary off of it, my nighttime business as well. And I just wanted to share some insights because faking it till you're making it is such an important ingredient in entrepreneurship, but I feel people misconstrue exactly what it is. A lot of people think that you have to be a snake oil salesman, that you have to have this thick skin and not care and be ruthless and promise on deliverables that you simply cannot achieve. And what ends up happening is a lot of these people, they have a self-fulfilling prophecy when it comes to faking it till you're making it, because they oversell their abilities so sky high and then they don't put the effort into it that they end up failing. And they just build up this house of cards, this basically Ponzi scheme of promises, and it all ends up collapsing in the end. And there is one common ingredient here that causes all of that, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because honestly, the success of my business would be nothing if I wasn't faking it till I'm making it. I'm recognized as a decent photographer and videographer for nighttime events. I get booked for corporate gigs. I only put my hands on a camera 3 years ago. I'm seen as one of the top web developers, especially in the medical community in North Jersey. And honestly, the first time I built out a website must have been not more than 4 to 5 years ago. And when I started out, I finished grad school, I got an MBA, which doesn't teach you a lot about how to run a business, about how to be specialized. MBA school, grad school, it just teaches you the common lingo so that you can hold a conversation with professionals, so that you have some business savviness about you. But it doesn't teach you how to make it in real life. Only you can teach yourself that, or you can learn it from someone else who has done that. And so when I went in to my first meetings and I was just building out these small time websites, chiropractors, occupational therapists, startups, and it was pretty easy because there wasn't much of a high stake there. The contracts were like $900, $800. And then I remember I scored a big meeting and I sat down and they wanted me to do something that I had no ability to do at the time. And I remember saying to myself, I'm here, I'm at this meeting, I'm here for a reason. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna embellish my capabilities. I'm gonna live out the whole fake it till you make it. I'm gonna go and take that leap to the next level by faking it. And so I went and I said I could do everything that they're asking. I could hit it out of the ballpark. I told them I've done it before, and I gave them a pretty high figure. And it was my first 5-figure contract that I landed. When I landed that contract, I walked out of that meeting, I was walking to my car, I had a cold sweat. I was horrified. I could not deliver on what I promised them I could yet. And so I remember when I went to sleep, I couldn't even sleep. I remember calling up a friend who was in an MBA program overseas, and he wasn't sleeping because of the time zones. And I was just talking to him at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then I went and exercised at 4 a.m. I jogged up a hill, it was like 5 a.m. Finally, I fell asleep. I woke up the next day tired and feeling weird about all these promises I made, feeling a lot of pressure. And I remember telling myself, this feeling that I'm feeling, the only way that I get rid of it is there's 2 ways. One, I fold. I call them up and I say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do what I promised. Please go with someone else. I want to make sure they have a great product. Or 2, I can lock myself in a library. I could lock myself at home and I could go to work. I could put in the honest, gritty effort that is required to actually be able to fulfill my promises. And so I went and did just that. I didn't party, I didn't go on any dates. All I was doing is I was researching, I was working, I was coding, I was talking to every other professional that I could to try and learn from them. I was watching YouTube videos, I was going to the library, reading books on it. And then before I knew it, it only took a couple of weeks before my efforts really paid off, where I was creating a product, a polished design, a functional app. Everything was working as it should, if not more. Why? Because I put in the effort. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that the amount of effort that you have to put in and the amount of grit and honest work, it's not that much most of the time. Because the professionals that promise certain things, so let's say in the web development space, a lot of times the head of a business will come in, they'll have the meeting, they will secure the contract, but they'll feed it off to their employees. The head doesn't go to work, the freelancers go to work, or the overseas people that he hired go to work. So the quality is not exactly coming from the head, the master of the operation. It is coming from a bunch of pawns underneath him. And so you have to realize that. You have to also be honest about your skill set. So if I went and I told someone, hey, I could totally be a guitarist at your wedding 3 months from now, I can't because I'm not very musically inclined. I would not be able to learn the guitar and be amazing at it. However, I felt that I had the foundational skills to be able to deliver on my promises. And that's something really, really important to remember, because faking it till you're making it, it's not just a feeling of like scared that you can't deliver. It's a feeling of disgust. It's a feeling of like embarrassment almost, that you're not ready to do it. And who are you? Do you even deserve this? Do I deserve that 5-figure contract that I got to go ahead and deliver on it? And the honest truth is you do, but only if you do the work. If you know that you are disciplined, you can put in the effort, you put in the honest grit, then you should definitely use fake it till you make it to get to the next level. Because if you think of your goals as here and where you are as here, there are stepping stones. And those stepping stones, they're not always smooth. And there isn't something where you can just prepare, and you're ready for that next step. Prepare, and you're ready for that next step. That's not how life works. Sometimes life just presents you with these amazing opportunities, with these gifts, and you have to go for them because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for that moment. And so it is a leap. And in order to take the leap, you will have to do the fake it till you make it thing. But again, that doesn't mean snake oil salesman type stuff. It means that you set your goals really high and then you have to push yourself to get there. And as long as you're trying your best, as long as you have the honest work, the time to put in the work, and the motivation to put in the work, then it will get you there. Because one of the things is, when you're faking it till you're making it, there's a lot of negative emotions that you will be experiencing. And these negative emotions, you should get used to them fueling your motivational tank and your inspirational tank. And so when I feel like I am inadequate, when I feel like I cannot do something, when I feel like I overpromised and I'm not sure I can deliver, that motivates me to get up really, really early and start working. Start going after it. Start going after my goals. And the one thing I will say is that if you are not self-disciplined, if you are not self-driven, fake it till you make it is not something that's for you. So whether it's in entrepreneurship or other points of your life, these are the 2 ingredients that I feel that make fake it till you make it really work out for you. And if you don't have them, it's gonna be a disaster because you're gonna overpromise, you're gonna procrastinate, you're gonna kick the can down the road, and then it's gonna turn into some really awkward conversation and it's gonna turn into you ruining your reputation. And I was actually really reluctant to make this video because I hate gurus that don't really accomplish anything but pretend they do and then give feedback to others. I guess that's my way of faking it till I'm making it, by making this video with the cheapest equipment ever. I'm using a cell phone right now, but it's gorgeous weather. There's a lake by me, and you gotta use what you got. You gotta make do with what you have. And it's too nice of weather for me to be cooped up inside or stuck making another stock video or working on websites right now. I'm giving myself a couple of hours to just enjoy the fresh air, to just enjoy the outdoors, because doing nothing is very underrated. Sometimes you gotta do nothing to really recharge the battery because it'll push you along more. If you have long-term goals, they're always a marathon, they're not a race. And so I hope this video helps and gives you a little bit different of feedback on how to deal with faking it till you're making it and some of the negative components that come with it. I've watched a few YouTube videos and they're all just saying the same jibber jabber about it. So if you feel like these type of videos help you, let me know in the comments section. I definitely want to make more videos like this from time to time, just talking about my journey as an entrepreneur, if you could call it that. That word is super overused. But again, I feel like in multiple facets of my life, the daytime business is web development, nighttime I do photography, videography. And it's the same thing. When I picked up a professional camera, I knew nothing. I just started doing Latin dance photography, videography. It took off a bit. And then one of my clients that's a big business, they said, hey, we're looking for someone to do a virtual video tour of our offices. Do you know anyone that does corporate videos? And I immediately said, yes, I absolutely do. I do that. I have the equipment. Let me come in and do the job for you. And I actually structured it in such a way. So first of all, as soon as I agreed, I ordered a gimbal. I learned everything I could about professional gimbals. I ordered more equipment so that I have a professional mic on hand, professional lighting, and I just learned everything that I could about making the most baller corporate video tour I could, and it worked out great. And so the last tip I want to leave you with, if you want to leave yourself some leeway for just in case it's not going to work out or you feel too much pressure, because you don't want to break your nervous system with the amount of stress that you're going to be feeling if you're one of these really sensitive people and faking it till you're making it freaks you out. When I agreed to this corporate gig, I straight out told them, I said, hey, this is the price. And honestly, if you are for whatever reason unhappy with the final product, we can renegotiate it. I'll be flexible with how we price it out at the end, but this is what I want. And if I do a good job, this is what you'll pay me. And they agreed to it. And that's the cool thing about it, is that you leave a little wiggle room just in case you overestimated your abilities and the quality of work you can do in the time that you have to get great at it. And this way, let's say it was a total flop. Like I did it for them and they watched it and they're like, is this guy freaking serious? He's handing this in as a final polished product. We can't use this. Then I would say, hey guys, I'm really sorry. I should have just stuck to what I do best. And I'm the web developer for you guys, so I'll just continue with that. But let me recommend these two places. They do amazing polished work. And I think I would have salvaged that relationship and it would have been fine going forward. But what ended up happening is they loved that video. They gave me another gig. And through those gigs, I was able to learn in a way that I would never be able to learn if I didn't have those gigs. And so they let me do all 9 of their offices. And what's interesting is when I watch back each one of those video tour shoots, I get better and better and better. And I enhance my skill set. And by the time I did the 9th one, it is such a polished product. I could put it on TV and people would be like, this is a highly professional product with a team behind it, even though it was one person creating it. And so because I put that work into understanding the equipment that I need, how to edit, I learned everything about Adobe Premiere Pro. And the cool thing is I could translate those skills into other things. Some of these other videos that I've created on stock videos or other videos that are very well produced, it is because I put myself out there, I took a chance, and I put the honest, gritty work behind it. And I didn't have to pay anyone to learn. I learned on the go. So companies are paying me to learn and make it. And so that's awesome. I don't go into debt. I pad my bank account. And then when I'm sure that I could do a home run product, I go and I market my abilities and I charge other companies much more. So if any of this was useful, please let me know in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. If you think that I should stick to my regular videos and be like, dude, shut up about this guru stuff, just go ahead and make stock videos, feel free to let me know that as well. I appreciate you guys watching. If it is really nice out wherever you are, make some time to enjoy the outdoors. You can still be productive outdoors, okay? Just because there isn't 4 walls and a computer in front of you, there's ways to be productive. There's ways to enhance your skills. You could simply take a vocab book, sit in a park, and just read through that vocab book, enhance your vocabulary, or read a book on something that you're trying to enhance your skill set on. The air is so crisp right now. I'm literally gonna lay down, turn off this camera, and just enjoy my time in the outdoors for like 30 more minutes before I go back to the rat race and all the emails and notifications and plug into technology and just be living in the matrix until the next time that I make time for myself to enjoy the outdoors. Because one thing is, the faking it till you're making it, every time you take that leap and it works out, you have to reward yourself. You have to condition yourself to be happy and feel fulfilled and gift yourself when you deserve it. And that is how you are gonna help become more disciplined, well-rounded professional that is self-motivated and self-inspired. So I wish you guys greatness, and I will see you in the next video.